There we go.
We've got between 40 and 50 people joining. We'll get started about a minute or two after 11. If you want to come off of mute and introduce yourself and tell us where you're joining from, you're welcome. Don't feel obligated, but we're happy to hear where you're calling in from.
Jack Day from Castle Ford School District.
Hi there, welcome. If you're just joining us, welcome. We're glad you're here. If you want to come off of mute and introduce yourself and tell us where you're calling in from, you're welcome to do that. You are not obligated to, but you're welcome to. We'll get started in just a minute. We're expecting about 55 or so people, so I want to give it just one more minute. I know people are often coming from a class period or a meeting, so I just want to give people some transition time to come in. But I know that your time is valuable, so we're not going to wait too much longer. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get started since it's 11:02. My name is Elise. I'm with Next Wave STEM. I'm located in the Chicagoland region. I am a former middle school science teacher. I'm thrilled to be with you today. Next Wave STEM is a K-12 emerging technologies STEAM career technology education curriculum equipment kit and professional development company. And part of our mission as a K-12 emerging technology company is to work with schools and districts across the nation. We're in about 25 states throughout the nation. About 500,000 students and teachers work with us. Part of our mission is to help teachers find funding for their curriculum and for their equipment. Oftentimes we hear teachers and school administrators tell us that they have projects that they want to complete, that they love our curriculum, or oftentimes that they have the money for the curriculum, but they don't have the money for the equipment. And so it's really important for us as a good partner to make part of our mission to help schools and districts find funding. So today, the way that I'd like to spend our time is to talk about our mission, about being a good partner to you all by finding sources of funding, communicating that funding out, and educating schools and districts about that funding. So we do these webinars to work with schools. My role here at Next Wave STEM, a big part of my role is to investigate grant funding. We actually we pay to subscribe to a grant database that gives us information about all types of different grants. And we get that information and we investigate it. We then send out an email to schools throughout the nation about particular state funding and say, hey, this grant is available. We put on these webinars, we educate you about the grant, we offer to help you about the grant if you are going to purchase our equipment and materials. We answer any questions you have about that application. We help you fill out the application so that you can get that grant. I have had a great success rate in helping schools apply for grants and receive that funding. And we've helped schools equip their schools and their classrooms with curriculum and equipment so that they can have these emerging technologies in their classrooms. And I'd love to work with you all on that. So our agenda for today is to talk about the Idaho CTE for grade 7 through 12 equipment only micro grant. Our agenda is, and I already talked about that first bullet, who Next Wave STEM is and our mission related to grants. We're going to talk a little bit about the types of grants available to schools and districts. Spend the most amount of our time talking about the specifics about the Idaho CTE 712 equipment only micro grant, and then talk about the Next Wave STEM equipment kits and how they'll be a fit for the grant should you choose to apply for the grant. So there's basically 3 types of grants that you all can apply for. Really 2 categories of grants that you can apply for. Federal grants are usually automatically disseminated to schools based on demographic data. So schools and districts usually automatically get grants like Perkins grants or Title I grants based on number of poverty level students in your schools, number of students on free lunches. Sometimes you apply for those, sometimes you don't. Again, automatically disseminated based on demographic data. We usually don't involve ourselves in those, again, because they're very complicated and they're based on very high level calculus calculations, and again, often automatically disseminated to school. Really, the sweet spot here are the state level grants, like the grant we're going to talk about today. They're oftentimes competitive grants or what are called RFPs, requests for proposals, where schools and districts, teachers apply for these grants. They're judged based on rubrics. Applicants are judged based on one another. And the people that submit the best proposals, grant proposals, are awarded the grants. And then oftentimes those grants are awarded until the funds are depleted. The third category of grants are private grants from either corporations, from private organizations, from faith-based organizations or foundations. And we also send out emails notifying schools of these types of grants. Also on our website, nextwavestem.com, we have a funding page and we have a page for every state in the nation. So if you click on there's a national page which shows all of the grants that are available to any state in the nation. And then there is a page for Idaho, which shows grants that are specific to Idaho. Some of them are things like particular foundations in your area. Oftentimes they might be an energy corporation that is specific towards your region. It might be in the Pacific Northwest that has grants available in your region. It might be particular school foundations in your area. I literally just went through and worked with Paula from Next Wave STEM, who's on this call. I went through every page of every state, and we're in the process of updating those. So if you go into Idaho this week and find some of those links are not working within the next couple of weeks, all of those pages are going to be updated because right now it is grant season where many of the grants are going to be updated, and the due dates for so many of those grants are coming up for either the fall or the spring at the latest. So these are the grants. Again, since you are on the call, that means you're on our mailing list. So as soon as any kind of new grant becomes available, either at the federal level, at the state level, or at the private level, you will be notified from us. that grant is available for you to apply for. We'll give you the specifics of it in the email so that you're aware of it. Okay, so let's dig into the Idaho micro grant. Okay, so who is eligible to apply? This is for Idaho's middle and high schools serving grades 7 through 12, particularly in remote and rural communities in Idaho. It's available to districts, and public charter schools are eligible to apply for the micro grants. What are the goals of the grant? The goal is to provide capital investments for in-demand and highly skilled careers, specifically the trades of welding, fabrication, machining, agriculture, forestry, mining, nursing, and cybersecurity. And it's really designed to support programs that align with the priorities of local communities, industry needs, and partnerships. So you know what is the priority of your local community and what are the careers that you have. You might have a specific manufacturer, you might have a specific type of agriculture in your area that would be a great type of resource to add to the grant. The next goal of the grant is to increase capacity for students to access high quality career and technical education programming. The Department of Education wants innovation in addressing regional and community needs, in addressing the challenges of local school districts and public charter schools, what you encounter when accessing resources to sustain high quality career and technical programming. So what can the eligible expenses be used to purchase? And this is really, really important. So this particular grant is an equipment grant. It can be used to purchase capital expenditures to upgrade or expand existing CTE programming. So it's to be used for equipment, machines, tools, or other one-time purchases. So one of the things that you need to be able to show in the grant, and it'll be, you'll be receiving points for it in the rubric, that they want to make sure that what you're purchasing is not something that you need to purchase over and over again, that it's a one-time purchase. You're buying equipment that once you buy it, that students will be able to use it over and over again in your schools. And the other thing is that it's oftentimes something that's used to expand your CTE programmings, that it's not something that you're already doing. So if you want to be able to show that you are broadening the career scope, you're broadening the career reach of the students in your school, and that oftentimes will earn you more points in your rubric than something that you're already currently doing in your programming. And again, that local tie-in, how is it going to tie in to your local and regional job market? So oftentimes in these grants, you really want to be able to tie in a partnership with a local business, a local farmers market, a local any type of job sharing where students can have some type of internship. If you're purchasing equipment for a new laser cutting material, new 3D printing, and they're able to have some type of internship, and you can talk about that type of partnership in your grant, you're going to be more likely to receive that, to get more points in your rubric, and more likely to receive that grant. So very important part of it is what is not covered. This is not for curriculum. It is only for equipment. And it's not for existing programs. As I said, this is really for, it's really to expand the reach of what your school has. It's not for any type of instructor travel for professional development, not for coursework. It's not for student travel for any type of, competitions or extracurricular activities. It's an equipment only grant. Um, it can't um, it cannot be used to purchase construction, shipping and handling, contractor work or labor for the installation of equipment. It's really just for the cost of equipment only. The award amount is a really generous award of $50,000 per award. Deadline is October 17th, so a little less than a month. Now, I know you may be thinking that's not a lot of time, and I can tell you that actually a month, from what I see nationally, is a pretty good amount of time. From the time that I access the database to the time that we send out the email to you is usually about a 48-hour turnaround period. Um, the states don't have a really large turnaround time. There's, usually a maximum of about 6 weeks from the time that the announcement of the time of the grant to the time of the deadline. And it's usually because these awards tend to be, we hear that they're very competitive. And so uh, I'm sure it just keeps the nominees in a reasonable amount for the reviewers to review. Um, on the bright side, the notification is a really quick turnaround. So after their November 6th ICRS meeting, applicants will be notified of the award. So the good news is it doesn't say when the funding will be available. I'm assuming it will be during this academic year, and I would assume it would be minimally available in by January of 2026. That you would be able to use it during this academic school year. But again, I was not able to find that information in the fine print of the document. And as part of this information, you will be receiving after this presentation, you will be getting a couple different emails. I will be sending you a link to the deck and to the link to the state website where you'll find all the information about the application and how to apply. Paula will send out, it takes a while for the Zoom to spool up the recording. Once she's able to send that out, it'll probably go out tomorrow or the latest on Monday, and we'll send out a recording to you of this webinar for you as well. So that's, again, this is the website that's going to be emailed to you that has the information on the grant, the rubric, and the email address where you send the application, and you'll get this presentation. Okay, so I just want to move into what Next Wave STEM has to offer to you to include in the budget in your application that would qualify for the equipment for this grant, for the equipment only grant for grades 7 through 12 for the career education. So we sell curriculum, equipment, and professional development in the areas of robotics, drones, 3D printing and design, innovation, artificial intelligence, hydroponics, sustainability, and game design. Almost all of those come with equipment kits with the exception of artificial intelligence, which is a software only curriculum. So artificial intelligence would not be an area that we would be able to provide equipment kits to you that would be a good fit for this particular grant. These are all of the courses that we offer. The last two rows are the grades 6 through 8, which would be applicable for this grade 7 through 12 grant. There's a lot of different courses here, and I'm going to focus today just on the courses that would be applicable that were called out specifically of the areas in the grant that are in high interest in those high interest career areas. So these are our grades 6 through 8. They specifically call out grades 7 through 12. So I would concentrate in listing in your grant, even if your schools are middle schools and have 6 through 8, I would highlight grades 7 through 8 in your grant. The courses that we have are, and again, the only thing that would be covered in the grant are equipment kits. So if you wanted the courses, those are separate. We are willing to offer for 3 months our free curriculum for 3 months because we know that it's hard to have equipment without the associated course and the instruction. So we will provide our free curriculum for 3 months. But if you wanted the full curriculum for a year, that would be a separate purchase. And I would encourage you to think about that for your, perhaps your 2026 2027 year budget, knowing that, if you got the grant and it started in 2026 and you had the free curriculum for 3 months, that would get you through a good part of this school year. And then you would have the equipment obviously for good, since this is non-consumable equipment. And then you could put the curriculum in your school budgets for the 2026-2027 school year. So the equipment here is for 3D printing for 6-8, development using Tinkercad. Sustainability, agriculture, which was called out in the grant. We have a hydroponics kit for growing, learning, thriving, curious cultivators. And our newest kit, equipment that is for back to school this year, is vinyl cutting design, which is part of advanced manufacturing. For grades 9 through 12, our equipment kits for robotics. Again, this is another brand new course for back to school 2026-2027, coding microbit for manufacturing. This is another advanced manufacturing course. Our 3D printing course is technology for the real world. Agricultural sciences is a really great course that talks a lot about pesticides, all the different types of farming initiatives that you would encounter in a 912 course. And laser cutting, again, another new course for back to school 2025-2026, laser cutting design, another advanced manufacturing course. So again, these are all the equipment kits. Again, if you purchase these kits with your grant money, we would provide 3 free months of curriculum for you. All of our curriculum, I apologize. We are aligned to the Idaho computer science standards, the NGSS, Common Core, ISTE, CSTA, 21st Century Skills, all of the large body of standards that are available to align to. And all of our curriculum comes with a course guide, a teacher guide, presentation slides that are Google Slides. They're all downloadable, they're editable, they're all student facing. Student answer sheets, or student worksheets, answer keys. These are all online on a teacher LMS. So you can download all these from a teacher LMS, upload them if you have Schoology, if you have Canvas, you can upload them and assign them to students. There's no student logon, there's no student LMS. So it's all managed through a teacher LMS, but everything is student facing. Everything comes in English and in Spanish. We also have professional development modules. We know that teachers did not go to school to learn about vinyl cutting and laser cutting and robotics. So we assume a base level knowledge of 0 for teachers on all of our emerging technologies curriculum. And each of our modules, each of our courses comes with a anywhere from a 45-minute to 3-hour module, a professional development module, walking teachers through step-by-step of how to use the equipment, going through the lesson plans, so that they're thoroughly comfortable teaching our curriculum and using the equipment. The teacher guides use the 5E model of instruction: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, evaluate. And these lesson plans are an hour long, and they can easily be broken up into 20 or 30-minute slots. If you don't have an hour, especially in the junior high or middle school time slot, you can break them up into 3 20-minute sessions or 2 30-minute sessions. And teach it how you like. This is supplemental curriculum, so each course is 15 lessons long and can easily be integrated into an existing computer science program, a science program, a math program. If you're middle school, into an advisory program, anywhere that you want to incorporate this, you can incorporate it, or if you have standalone time that you can create, or if you have a high school CTE program, you can use these courses in your high school CTE program. Talked about the professional development. At this time, I invite you to come off of mute and ask any questions that you have. You're a quiet group. I certainly couldn't have answered all of your questions. If you don't have questions, I am happy to share. I can show you our LMS.
I do have one question.
Oh,
I
good.
came in just a little late. I'm Shane Matson,
No
and
worries.
I had a phone call, and I was trying to finish one phone call and
No
get back
worries.
on it. So is this grant only for CTE programs,
It
or can
is.
it be okay? All right, which is still good. I mean, that's what we're looking at, but I just need to make sure, because like I said, if it wasn't, then no, there's a lot of different possibilities, and that's why I thought I'd ask.
Yes. There will be other grants. Idaho does have other grants.
Uh-huh.
So, as I said, I don't know if you were on when I said it, but since you're on the call, you're on our mailing list. So if there are other Idaho grants, you will certainly get an email and notification of other grants that pop up in Idaho.
Okay, great. You answered my question, though. I appreciate it.
No worries.
And
Anybody else have another question?
one thing I was going to add is I know curriculum is not part of this particular grant, but you can use your existing curriculum funds if you have them as you plan for the year or next school year. So, to really take a holistic approach, so you have the equipment, have the curriculum, have the PD. We can get creative here. We can help you get creative. So you get a full solution.
A question.
And even
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, so even if it's like if you are a K through 6th grade level, right, which is not covered in this grant, and you see value in these courses to bring on this school year or in the future, connect with us and we will help you if you already, again, have funding, but if you don't, then we will continue to look for grants for you as well.
And my question was, do you know if you can apply for two things? So say like the hydroponics and a CNC machine or something like that with the grant, or is it one machine?
Sure. No, you can apply for two.
Just up to the 50,000.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions?
Is anyone interested in a walkthrough of the curriculum or any particular course you would like to take a look?
I just opened the laser cutting. Can you guys, Uda, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, thanks for teeing that up, Uda, perfect timing. So this is 912. This is one of our newest courses, laser cutting, and this is an example of the student-facing Google Slides, again, these are all editable in English and Spanish. So again, these are in the 5E model of instruction. So these are all, student facing that you can put up on your whiteboard, you can project. They are PDFs. They are in Google Slide format, whatever format that you need. Again, they're downloadable. You can upload them to your LMS. So these are going to go through step by step. Here they're going through the laser cutting process, going through the demo. This is an early lesson. And one of the things that I wanted to point out is that for all of our courses, students are doing from day one. They are coding these laser printers, the vinyl cutters, the robots. If you bought a drones, I know drones isn't part of this. It's not a culminating activity. They do this from day one. They troubleshoot, they're flying the drones, they're working the robots. So they are doing all of this from day one. So it's going through working with students, and they are, going through making sure the students understand all of the parts of the machinery and how it works, showing them how they're doing everything, talking about the importance of, having proper ventilation, all of that, going through this. Just going to show you a sample teacher guide as well. This is the lesson plan, really stepped out for students. Going through the engage, the explore, show, here are these slides, ask students this, share their answer, pass out the checklist, going through step by step with them so the teacher does not have to create any kind of a lesson plan. Obviously, after you teach this a time or two, and you want to make it your own and make modifications, you can. There are options here for differentiation, but everything is really stepped out. Here are sample worksheets, and if there are videos in the particular lesson, there are also videos listed here as well. And this is where you'd also find all the listing of the Spanish resources as well. Okay, what other questions can I answer for you? Okay, I just want to point out, I will be sending, as I said, I will work on starting to email you out the presentation, the link to the website today. Please check your spam folders. If you don't get an email from me today or tomorrow, check your spam folder because it may be in your spam folder. Same thing, if you don't get the recording of the Zoom from Paula, check your spam folder. It might be in your spam folder. If you want my help in your application, you want me to read it over, you want some input, in my email, there is a link that says click here to make an appointment with me. I would recommend there's a 15-minute time slot and a 30-minute time slot. I would recommend choosing the 30-minute time slot and setting up time, and I'm happy to help you in whatever way that I can. I want you to get that funding so that you can have all these new tools and new courses available to you in your classrooms. I know how hard it is to get funding, but it's out there. There's a lot of money out there. $50,000 is not a small amount of money. There are state grants that are $2,000 for a teacher. So $50,000 is a big bucket of money. So I hope that you all have some time. And once you do one grant and you take you have all that language available to you, it's easier to copy and paste and put it in other grants. I thank you for attending. Thank you for your service to your students and your schools. Teaching is hard work, and it's not getting any easier by the year. So thank you for all that you're doing. If I can be of service to you in any way, not even just the grants, but in any other way, you have my email address after I send this all out to you. Email me, pick up the phone, and I'm happy to serve you in any way that I can. Enjoy the rest of your day and your school year, and we look forward to working with you and partnering with you. Take care.
Thank you, everyone.